on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Dunleavy in at the 3, the small forward. Plumlee, no luck.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on and on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Now here's McCollum following the miss by Derrick Rose. McCollum kicks to Lillard. Plumlee with the screen. McCollum dishes to Aminu. Shot clock at 6. Plumlee, the pass to Aminu. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, deterred them from those plans.
Now here's Rose.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
The Bulls shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. And so here's Portland. Harkless kicks to Aminu. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. And Butler sends it back. Outside Rose. And he gets it to go. Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, taking himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That'll be his second foul of the game. Crabs checked in for Portland. Butler dishes to Gasol. Back to Butler. No good. And the Trailblazers going the other way. Here's McCollum. Puts it up from 17. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
And as far as jump shots go, that's what you have to continue to try and get.
I don't know how that one stayed out.
To the middle. And it's Rose. This time the assist by Butler. 8 points for Derrick Rose. Trailblazers trail by 8. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. What did you find out, DB?
Kevin, he said he expects their interior defense to be airtight tonight. He said shot blocking is something our team can really hang its hat on. That ability to contest and deny shots inside frees us up to be more aggressive on the perimeter. So in a sense, it's really the foundation for us defensively. Guys, we'll see if they can build on that to secure the W.
Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. That's a mantra we're going to hear, I think, a lot from coaches. Defense first.
You know, we always do, but it really rings true with this group. When they get all 5 guys keyed in at the defensive end, I think they make things very difficult for the opponent.
Yeah, and I think every single possession is going to be a battle in this one. That's what I'm expecting anyway.
Now here's Rose. Misses the layup.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Portland was just fantastic at home last season. We expect that, though, of this team, Greg. 32-9. It was packed each game.
And Kevin, of that 32-win mark, how about that was the 4th best in the entire league? You don't win your division without winning at home, and Portland definitely took care of business.
Here's Butler after the made shot from Mo Harkless. That doesn't go either for Rose.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
The wide open look for Plumlee. Again, the Trailblazers score.
Well, I tell you what, it seems as though Portland is always good at home. It was 2007 when they last had a losing record in this building. Even when they're down overall, They're always tough at home.
And unfortunately, guys, for Portland, they didn't have home court advantage in the playoffs. As great as they were at home all year, it could have made a big difference for them in the postseason.
A different look now for Portland. Ed Davis is checked in for Plumlee. Leonard comes in for Al Farouk Aminu. And it's Henderson for Harkless. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Joakim Noah is checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Dunleavy. And it's Brooks in for Derrick Rose. And so here's Portland after the Bulls pick up 2. Here's Henderson. The three-pointer off the mark. The Bulls leading by 5. 1:07 left in the first. And Brooks, here we go. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner.
Here's Butler. Henderson pulls it in. For Portland, they've gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Here's McCollum. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic.
And guys, C.J. McCollum is a scoring-minded combo guard out of Lehigh. Was taken with the 10th pick back in 2013 and still looking to make a big impact in the NBA.
Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. Moore outside. Noah the screen. Puts up a 3. No good from Moore.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it. I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now here's Brooks. He's guarded by McCollum. Noah the screen. And Brooks. Here we go. And Davis sends it back. And now a chance to hear from point guard Damian Lillard as he explains his stoic.
I was taught to, never let anybody.
I would say, Clark, we probably shouldn't expect to see Lillard starring in any reality shows about his personal life.
I think that would be accurate. I mean, Lillard is a young man who is all about taking care of his business and doing what he needs to be doing. I mean, his reality is trying to live up to the expectations for him in Portland.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
You always like it when your team doesn't settle for outside shots, and that's been the case here early on.
Yeah, I agree with you. They've done a nice job, Greg, working it low and not taking the easy way out on offense, keeping that pressure on the defense by going inside.
Henderson out there with Damian Lillard. Then there's Mo Harkless. Then there's Davis. And it's Vonleh in at the 4. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Bulls.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
The Bulls making a switch here. Holiday's checked in.
Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number 1 for them right now.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that. And with Powell, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds.
And the shot is good. The Chicago lead has been cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Henderson. Rose against Lillard. And he gets it to go. 12 points for Derrick Rose.
The D on him has to be airtight, guys. You got to get into his airspace. And that was far from it.
And a final point, guys, with Powell's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
Mason Plumlee will really put it on you. Tough, hard-nosed player, has the size, the bang, and the athleticism, GA, to run the court.
And it's interesting, Kevin. His game translated better as a professional than maybe as a collegiate. I mean, he's a guy that's a lunch pail kind of player. Rolls up his sleeves, focuses in, and willing to do the dirty work.
Excellent point about the comparison college to pro. I think you're right on.
Man, their offense is really cranked up in the second quarter.
And their field goal percentage shows that, over 60 now. Tough to beat them when they shoot it like that.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And, you know, back to Plumlee, he showed steady improvement last season, improved statistically in just about every category over his rookie year. If he could become a little less mechanical with his postgame, I think he could even go higher.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. Chicago leading by 5. Butler passes to Rose. Gibson the screen. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Rebound by the Trailblazers.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
You know, one thing about Plumlee, going back, he's been a tremendous rebounder. He can shoot over 60% from the field for you. However, he was a terrible free throw shooter last season, under 50%, which caused at least a couple teams to employ a little hack-a-Mason strategy.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
Well, I'd have to say Lillard is one of the game's best passers right now.
Rose goes in, and it's Gibson, that time on the assist by Rose. Rose has got 4 assists in the game. Trailblazers trail by 7. Lillard left side. The 11-footer. Conley kicks to Harkless. Trailblazers moving the ball around. Henderson against Rose. Shot clock at 5. Now here's Henderson, guarded closely. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
That's exactly why you don't leave your feet until the shooter elevates. He went for that pump fake, hook, line, and sinker.
Chicago calls timeout.
You know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
Yeah, and you know, coaches always are looking for ways to tweak things and change it up a little bit, no matter what the situation is. That's what coaches do.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. Chicago also making some changes. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Portis. McDermott comes in for Mike Dunleavy. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew so.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, but if I can say so, it was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Gibson dishes to Brooks. Noah the screen. To the right side. Left side, Butler. Three-pointer. And again, Chicago. No good. And now Portland on the break. Here's McCollum. No good. And the Bulls going the other way now. 1:11 left to play in the first half. Floats one. Here's Gibson. Back to Brooks. Shoots from 14. It's rebounded by Leonard. Trailblazers trail by 7. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
Stolen by McCollum. He dishes it to Leonard. 40 seconds left in the first half of the game. Here's Davis. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Now it's just a 3-point Bulls lead. The Bulls have gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%. Now here's Brooks. He's guarded by McCollum. Outside Gibson. 6 to shoot. Now here's Butler. Defense is right there as the Trailblazers gain possession.
And you know what? His mind's not going to live that one down easily.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
8 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Leonard. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. And the first half.
Hey, Kevin.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, this has been a good game here after one half. Everybody, Derrick Rose taking care of business in this one. He had 14 points and 4 assists. All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
What a game for Rose. He has 14 points, and he's done a good job distributing the ball as well.
And you can't really place a value on what that means to a team. His passing has really helped their cause.
Tipping off the second half, here's Fred Hoiberg's 5. Butler teams with Dunleavy on the perimeter. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Rose in at the point. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Aminu. Here's Lillard. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Lillard's got the first basket of the third quarter for the Trailblazers. Chicago leading. You know, guys, Al-Farouq Aminu, so highly regarded coming out of college, still really finding his way around the NBA. But this last season, with Dallas, he may have found his niche in this league.
That's a great point, Kevin. A guy who can give you a lot of things, rebounding, defense, hustle points, but he's already played on a number of teams in his young career because he's still trying to, as you put it, find that niche. Maybe he's finally developed who he is.
To the middle. Here's Dunleavy. Banked in off the glass. And now a 5-point Bulls lead.
Yeah, and on the topic of Aminu, he's a bit of a tweener. Doesn't have quite the quickness and ball handling skills the top small forwards have. Doesn't have the bulk or grit to match up against the better power forwards. He's a hard fit for what you want to have done at that position.
The open shot, Butler. Second chance shot. Here's Gasol. And finally they hit one. Gasol's got 4 points in the quarter.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possession would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
And guys, getting back to Aminu, he still has the tools to be a really good player, but like so many young guys, he has to focus. He has to bring the intensity 100% every game. And I could see him being one of those late bloomers, if you will.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Henderson's checked in. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Lillard attacking. Can't hit. Nice D from Rose.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Dunleavy the pass to Rose. Down low. Fades away. Portland grabs the miss. Here's Harkless. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Butler's got 5 rebounds tonight. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. And the layup's good off the glass. Dunleavy's got the lead up to 9 now for the Bulls.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And Lillard kicks to Harkless. Plumlee dishes to Harkless. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession. Seems every season, Clark, you hear the same thing. Portland Trailblazers had to deal with some tough injuries.
Kevin, it appears as though it might actually be a curse. I don't like to use that word, but the history of this team and injuries is as unique as any in the league. Last year, no different.
And Portland making a change here. Onlay's checked in. Joakim Noah's checked in for Chicago. McDermott comes in for Taj Gibson. And the foul on Derrick Rose.
Side out.
That's foul number 2 for him. Chicago making a switch here. Portis is checked in. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to just 10 points on the bucket from Henderson.
And with the Blazers and injuries, even when they fought through pain, guys weren't at 100%. Aldridge wasn't quite the same with his hand injury.
Butler against Henderson. Shot clock at 5. For 3. And it's Butler missing.
And losing Matthews for the season was huge too, guys. I mean, every team goes through injury woes and bumps during the course of a season, but the Blazers just seem to be, at least in the last half dozen years or so, hit very hard every year.
Noah the screen. They set the pick. Butler attacking. The pass to Portis. Out to the right wing. McDermott kicks to Butler. Shoots from the line. Makes a big high bounce and goes in. Butler's got 7 points in the game.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Lillard. Nice D from Rose.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Second chance shot, and it's McDermott laying it in. McDermott's got his first bucket in this one.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
Out to the wing. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And guys, what a strange rookie campaign for Dougie McBuckets. I mean, he entered the draft as a polished sharpshooter. The Bulls traded up in the first round to get him, and he ended up playing 9 minutes a game over the course of last season.
And on the topic of Doug McDermott, one of the most decorated college players in recent history, and Clark, you called a lot of his games.
Yeah, enjoyed watching him play, and I still think he has a bright future. Just never found any real rhythm. Averaged only 3 points a game, but he didn't get much playing time, so look for him to bounce back in the years going forward.
Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. From the baseline, Brooks misses.
You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense, active, and he made it a very tough shot for him.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
And Moore kicks to Brooks. Noah the screen, and Brooks. Here we go. Dishes at Demiritich. And again, Chicago. No good. Trailblazers trail by 11. Here's Henderson. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Henderson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
That's a great point. 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed have come at the rim. And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Al Farouk Aminu, he's checked in for Gerald Henderson. Chicago also making some changes. Gasol comes in for Joakim Noah. And Justin Holiday subbed in for McDermott.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen. They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
And the basket by McCollum.
No doubt about it, he has done a ton to help this team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this one.
Now here's Brooks. He's guarded by McCollum, and Brooks gets it to go.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Here's Davis. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. The Trailblazers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throws.
And, you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
Shot misses. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Trailblazers trail by 9. A moment now to reset the lineups. Brought to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. On the floor for Portland, Al Farouk Amino is out there with Davis. Then it's Alan Crabb. Then it's Damian Lillard. And it's Plumlee in at the 5. Dunleavy for 3. Portland grabs the miss. Here's Crabb. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. Lillard's got his 4th assist in this one. Chicago leading by 7. Butler attacking, and he banks in the layup.
And now both teams really in a groove.
This game already, guys, was high scoring, but they've really amped and ramped it up to another level down the stretch.
Rose against Lillard. And there's the defensive 3-second call. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
You know, something else I've noticed is just how many of their baskets have been set up by assists throughout the game.
Harkless is checked in for Portland. And Chicago also making a switch. Taj Gibson's checked in for Mirotic. Butler passes to Rose. Here's Gasol. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Trailblazers trail by 8. And Lillard throws it down.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Butler dishes to Gasol. Rose against Lillard. Gasol kicks to Rose. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Wow, has he flipped a switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
Gibson a screen. Rose passes to Gasol.
Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Terry Stotts gave to his team during that last break. He talked mainly about giving them a different look defensively and dropping more bodies into the paint, saying, listen, They're eating us up on the inside, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop it. Guys, back to you.
Thanks again, Doris. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls Clark had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, two-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And for the past few seasons, Portland's bench has really been their Achilles heel. I mean, last year they showed some improvement. The reserves play stole a game for them on more than one occasion, but still wouldn't be considered a strength.
Here's Gibson. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. And the Bulls lead by 7.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam. You're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
And for Portland, the bench still wasn't leaned on heavily for minutes. Greg was just talking about that, but they were in the top 5, Clark, in scoring efficiency, and they shot 45% from the floor on the year.
And what was a weakness for them in 14 was a strength for them in 15. And actually, they were their best down the stretch of last season.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. Derrick Rose was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Butler from outside. Portland grabs the miss.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Kicks to Dunleavy. Back to Butler. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Good-looking screen by Gasol. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
He went a decent amount of time before his first turnover there. It's really been a good, safe stretch of basketball from him to this point.
McCollum's checked in for Craig. Here's Aminu, and some very quick points for him on that possession.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also...
I want you to focus on getting to the rim. Let's look to attack quickly. We need high percentage shots. Move the ball around and make the defense rotate.
1:14 left in the fourth quarter. .14 left in the fourth quarter. Rose kicks to Butler. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. 11 points for Jimmy Butler.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. And that'll be his third foul so far.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
1:03 left in the game.
And how about the stingy defense there to deny that pass?
Pass to Dunleavy. Butler on the way. He kicks it to Dunlap. Buries it.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Lillard attacking. Count it. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Unbelievable basket. I mean, giving up a lot of height there, but he was not to be denied.
Not when the game's hanging in the balance. That makes it a little different. He was going to get to the rim no matter who was standing in the way on that one.
That was massive.
You know it. He's stepping right into the spotlight there.
And so they foul intentionally. And the Bulls with possession. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line, and that will put them up by 2.
And it's still within reach.
But they have to be really close to perfect from here on out. I mean, they have to get their offense right on target, right on point immediately.
And the road back into this game wasn't a short one, but they've managed to make it all the way back and tie this thing up.
And, Greg, I've got to admit to you, I mean, I did not think they were going to get all the way back. I thought they were done. But they've shown some serious resilience and character to battle this far back.
Chicago calls timeout. Seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Lillard against Rose. Takes a shot at the elbow. Good!
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
Gibson with the steal. And so the big win by Chicago in a tight game. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the
2K Sports post-game show.